Hey everyone! Welcome back to Speak Better English. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Adam. And if you're joining us for the first time, welcome. You're in the right place.
Absolutely. Because here's the thing we always say. We don't teach English.
Nope. We help people become confident English speakers. There's a big difference.
There really is. And today we're doing something that's going to put that confidence to the test.
Oh yeah. We're doing our ultimate real English listening challenge. And honestly, this is one of my favorites.
Mine too. Because here's what we know about our listeners.
You understand more English than you can speak, right? That's totally normal.
Exactly. Your reading is great. Your grammar knowledge is solid. But when you hear two native speakers talking fast, suddenly everything sounds like one long word.
I've been there. Trust me. When I first moved to the US, I thought people were speaking a completely different language.
But that's why we're here. Today, we're going to train your ears.
And we're going to have fun doing it. Here's how it works.
We're going to play 3 short conversations, all completely natural, all at normal native speed.
Just like you'd hear on the street, in a coffee shop, or on the phone.
Your job? Just listen. Don't stress. Don't try to catch every word.
First time through, just get the main idea. What's happening? Who's talking? What's the situation?
Then, we'll break it all down. Every tricky phrase. Every fast sound. Every slang word.
We'll show you why it sounded the way it did. And we'll teach you how to understand it next time.
And here's the best part.
It's a game.
It is. You get points for each conversation you understand. At the end, we'll tell you your level.
So get ready. Get your ears warmed up. And let's start with challenge number 1.
Challenge 1 is our easiest level, around A1, A2. The situation?
2 friends are texting. They're making plans for Saturday.
Very simple, very everyday. Listen for suggestions, questions about free time, and that casual friend energy.
Okay, here it goes. Listen once. No stopping. No rewinding.
Hey, what are you up to this Saturday?
Not much, honestly. Just hanging around the house. Why?
I'm gonna check out that new coffee shop downtown. Wanna come?
Oh, yeah. I'd love to. What time?
How about 10? We can grab coffee and maybe a pastry or something.
Sounds great. Should we meet in front?
Perfect. I'll text you the address Saturday morning.
Awesome. Can't wait to try their iced latte.
Me too. See ya Saturday.
See ya. Have a good week.
Okay, how did that feel? Did you get the main idea?
2 friends. Coffee. Saturday at 10. Simple, right?
But some parts might have sounded a little blurry. Let's break it down.
First thing, what are you up to?
Oh, great question. What are you up to? Just means, what are you doing? Or, what are your plans?
It's super casual. If I ask my friend, what are you up to this weekend? I just want to know what they're doing.
Way more natural than, what are your planned activities for the weekend?
Yeah, don't say that. People will look at you funny.
Okay, next. I'm gonna check out that new coffee shop.
Gonna is everywhere in spoken English. It's just going to said fast.
Say it with me. Gonna.
Not going to. Gonna.
And then, wanna come?
Wanna is want to. So do you want to come? Becomes wanna come.
It's friendly, it's fast, and native speakers use it constantly.
Practice with me. Wanna come? Wanna go? Wanna try?
Great! Now, what about check out?
Oh yeah. Check out means go see or try for the first time.
You can check out a new restaurant, check out a movie, check out a new YouTube channel.
It's a great phrasal verb. Very useful.
And what about grab?
Grab coffee, grab lunch, grab a drink. It just means get or buy in a casual way.
It's so much more natural than let us purchase beverages.
Yeah, please don't say that.
Okay, last thing. See ya.
See ya is just see you, said fast. The you becomes ya.
Same with wanna, gonna, gotta, these are reductions. They're shortcuts native speakers use all the time.
And the more you hear them, the more natural they'll sound.
So, if you understood most of that conversation, give yourself 1 point.
Nice! You're on the board.
Ready for challenge 2? It gets a little harder.
Let's go.
Challenge 2. Level, a 2. The situation?
A customer in a clothing store. She wants to return a sweater.
There's a store employee helping her. Listen for return, exchange, sizes, and that helpful customer service language.
It's a little faster this time. There are some great idioms, too. Ready?
Let's do it. Hi there, welcome in. How can I help you?
Hi. I'd like to return this blue sweater, please. It didn't fit right when I tried it on at home.
No problem. Do you have the receipt and the tags?
Yep, everything's here. Can I exchange it for a different size instead of a refund?
Sure thing. What size do you need? This one's a medium.
I think I need a large. Do you have this color in a large?
Let me check in the back. Give me just a second.
Thanks. I love this color, so I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
You're in luck. I found the last large on the top shelf.
Oh, wonderful. I'll take it. Thanks so much.
No problem at all. Okay, shopping. A very common situation.
But did you hear gimme in there?
Yes, give me just a second. But in fast speech, gimme just a second.
Gimme, not give me. Gimme.
Like gimme a call, gimme a break, gimme a chance.
It's another one of those reductions. Native speakers use it all the time.
Okay, what about sure thing?
Sure. Thing just means yes, definitely or absolutely.
It's warm, friendly, much better than just saying yes.
Customer service people use it constantly. Friends use it too.
Now, fit. Super important word.
If something fits, it's the right size. This shirt fits me perfectly.
If it doesn't fit, this is too small. This is too big. It doesn't fit right.
Very useful for shopping.
And exchange versus refund.
An exchange is when you swap something for a different size or color. A refund is when you get your money back.
I'd like to exchange this for a larger size.
Can I get a refund? It didn't fit.
Now, the idiom. Fingers crossed.
Oh, I love this one. Fingers crossed means you hope for good luck.
You literally cross your fingers like this gesture and hope for the best.
I hope we get good weather tomorrow. Fingers crossed.
I hope I get the job. Fingers crossed.
And then, you're in luck.
If someone says you're in luck, it means something good just happened for you.
Like finding the last sweater in your size.
Exactly.
Okay, if you understood most of that shopping conversation, add another point to your score.
2 points. You're doing great.
But now, challenge 3. The ultimate test.
This one's harder. It's on the phone, and phone calls are tricky.
No visual clues. No lip reading. Just ears.
But we know you can do it. Let's go. Challenge 3. Level. A 2B1. The situation?
A man calls a dental clinic. He needs to reschedule his cleaning appointment.
He's talking to the receptionist. Listen for days of the week, times, and professional phone language.
This is the fastest one. And there are some great phrasal verbs. Ready?
Here we go.
Good morning, Oak Tree Dental. This is Sarah speaking. How can I help you?
Hi, Sarah. My name's Mark. I need to reschedule my cleaning appointment for this Thursday.
I can help with that. Let me pull up your chart real quick.
Thanks. Something came up at work, so I can't make it this week.
I understand. I see your appointment Thursday at 2. When would you prefer?
Do you have any morning openings next Tuesday or Wednesday?
Let me check. Tuesday morning is completely full.
Okay. What about Wednesday? Around 9 or 10?
Actually, we just had a cancellation. I can slot you in at 9:30 Wednesday morning.
That's perfect. 9:30 works great.
Wonderful. I've moved you to Wednesday at 9:30. We'll send a reminder text on Tuesday.
Thanks so much for your help. Have a great afternoon.
You too. See you next week. Bye.
Okay, that was fast, right?
It really was. Phone conversations are always tricky.
But let's break it down. First, reschedule.
Reschedule just means change the date or time of an appointment.
The prefix "-er" means again. So reschedule is schedule again.
Very useful word. I need to reschedule our meeting. Can we reschedule for next week?
Next, pull up.
Pull up means access or open on a computer.
Let me pull up your file. Let me pull up that email.
You'll hear this in offices all the time.
Now, the phrasal verb come up.
Something came up at work. This means an unexpected problem or event happened.
It's the perfect excuse. You don't need to explain the details.
Sorry I'm late. Something came up.
I can't make dinner tonight. Something came up.
Very polite. Very natural.
Next, do you happen to have?
This is such a great phrase. Do you happen to have morning openings?
It's polite, gentle, not too direct.
Better than, do you have openings? Which sounds a little demanding.
Do you happen to have a pen? Do you happen to know the time?
Very useful.
Now, openings.
An opening is an available time slot, a free spot in the schedule.
I have an opening at 3. Do you have any openings this week?
And cancellation.
A cancellation is when someone cancels their appointment. That creates a new opening.
We had a cancellation. Can you come in at 2?
And finally, slot you in.
This is a great verb. Slot in means to put something into a schedule.
Can you slot me in at 4? I'll slot you in between meetings.
Very natural. Very professional.
Did you notice we didn't say AM or PM?
Oh, great point. We just said 9:30, 10, 2.
Because the context made it clear. Mark asked for morning openings.
So 9:30 obviously meant 9:30 in the morning.
Context clues are everything in listening.
Okay. If you understood most of that phone conversation, give yourself a 3rd point.
Now let's calculate your score. So, how many points did you get?
If you got 3 out of 3, congratulations. Your listening skills are amazing.
If you got 2 out of 3, you're doing great. You understand most real English conversations.
If you got 1 out of 3, no problem. You're on the right track. Keep practicing.
And if you got 0, hey, don't worry. That just means you have a clear goal to work on.
Every mistake is a learning opportunity. Every time you miss a word, your brain gets better at recognizing it next time.
That's how listening works. It's like a muscle. You have to train it.
The more you expose yourself to natural English, the easier it gets.
So don't feel discouraged. You showed up today. You challenged yourself.
That's what matters.
Now, if you want to keep improving,
We have something special for you.
we know it's hard to find native speakers to practice with.
That's why we created something to help.
We're excited to tell you about English AI.
Enthusiastically. Yes, English AI is your personal English conversation partner.
It's available 24/7 on your phone or computer.
You can practice real conversations anytime you want.
Want to practice job interviews? English AI can help.
Want to practice ordering coffee? Casual small talk? Tricky grammar?
English AI is always patient, always ready to chat.
And it speaks like a real native speaker. So you get natural, authentic practice.
We put the link in the episode description below.
Click it, try it, see how fast you improve.
It's honestly a game changer. Okay, before we go,
We want to hear from you.
drop a comment below. Tell us your score. 0 to 3. How did you do?
And if you enjoyed this challenge, hit that like button.
Subscribe to Speak Better English so you never miss an episode.
And share this with a friend who's learning English. Challenge them to beat your score.
Thank you so much for listening today.
Keep practicing, keep listening, keep pushing yourself.
You're doing better than you think.
And we'll see you next time.
Bye, everyone.
Hey, before we go, let's practice some of these reductions together. I'll say a phrase. You repeat it after me. Ready?
First one. What are you up to?
What are you up to? Notice how are you becomes. What you up to?
Exactly. What you up to?
Now, I'm gonna check out.
Gonna check out.
Wanna comb?
Wanna comb?
Give me just a second.
Gimme just a second.
Here's my tip for today. When you're listening to fast English, don't try to understand every word. Focus on the keywords, the nouns, and verbs.
That's great advice.
If you catch coffee and Saturday and 10, you get the main idea. The rest is details.
Quick cultural note. In the US, it's very common to make small talk with cashiers and customer service people. How are you? Have a good day. It's friendly. It's normal.
Don't be surprised if strangers talk to you. It's just part of the culture.
Okay, before we play the second conversation, what do you think will happen? Pause. Right. She's going to return a sweater. Let's see if we're right.
Keep track of your scores each time we do a challenge. Over time, you'll see yourself getting better. It's a great way to stay motivated.